tell us who you are and what do you do?
I cause a lot of shit. I get people pissed off all the time by just speaking my mind, I guess. I don't know. I don't do it on purpose, but it kind of just naturally happens. Where do I start? That's a loaded question. I've been playing games.
How did you get started with making a YouTube channel? Like what made you make your website? And it's just, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I guess I've been gaming since I was in diapers. The youngest of 5 boys, so all my brothers always had all the games when I was growing up. So I kind of got into it very young and always felt connected with it. Fast forward to when I was 25, I moved out to California from Massachusetts and didn't have a job, didn't have a place to. My dog's going crazy right now. Hey, Dex.
Oh, you're good.
I didn't have a place to live or anything. I was just kind of didn't plan anything. It was before the internet was prominent, so I was just like, I guess I'll figure it out. My parents were like, sure, get out of the house, sure. So I moved out to California and was looking on the wanted ads and stuff for the paper and the websites, and I found Sony Online Entertainment was hiring for QA testers in gaming.
Oh,
and
nice.
I was like, man, I graduated college. I went to school for business. And I was like, sure, I'll do this. What do you want? What do you want? Sit, lay down. Yeah, I know. You're very excited right now. Hey, shh. Good boy. So I what's going on? He really let me let him out. Hold on.
All right, no worries. All right. Well, so while that happens, yes, we will spend more time with this fish over here. So Grae, this thing doesn't have teeth. Just letting you know.
Oh no, it was just a second. Sorry about that.
No worries. Man,
you couldn't wait to get that thing back on the screen.
Phil needed to say that. Phil really needed to say that.
Yeah. The thing is that Grae, if you don't know that there's lore on Grae, and Grae is I asked him, boobs or butt, or whatever. And his thing is, how's her teeth? And I was like, what? This teeth has to be really good. And I was like, so what do you think about this girl? Some girl with big boobs, her teeth is sort of weird. I was like, that's what you're looking at? I was just
it became it's a recurring meme up to now.
Yeah. So whenever we bring on AOC or something like that, she's like, she's talking, and Grae is like, yeah, her teeth, she has sort of weird horse teeth. So anyways,
you guys say boobs or butt, and I'm like, you have to pick one.
Yeah, exactly, right. But if you have to pick one, right? But
yes, I mean, boobs all the way if you got to pick one. But
yeah.
So anyways, I moved out here and found a job, Sony Online, and my parents were like, you're gonna be a QA tester. You just graduated college. You're gonna be a quality assurance tester. You don't even need to go to school for that. Back then,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I want to do something. It paid minimum wage, and I was like, this is not gonna be enough to survive on out here, but whatever. So I did it, got some really good experience, did that for a couple of years, and then I went into recruiting in the game industry. From there, I met some connections and went on to being a recruiter for Sony, Midway, Electronic Arts, Square Enix. It was a temp agency that had partnerships with all these companies, so I would go to their offices and hang out with them and stuff like that. So it was really intimately involved with the game industry on the West Coast, which was wild back in the day. That blew my mind to be able to just, fresh out of college and talking to these game companies like I'm a somebody, which was really cool. And then it didn't pay very much, even being a recruiter. So I moved on from that because California is very expensive.
Yeah.
So,
so I had to move on. Expensive.
Yeah. So I had to move on from that to find a job that paid more. And I always felt like there was this gaping hole in my life when I left the game industry. And a few years had passed, and I was like, man, nobody in my life cares about video games or talks about video games. I don't play video games with all my friends. They did the whole oh, I'm an adult now, I don't play video games anymore. I'm like, what do you that's weird. I always play video games.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I was drawn to YouTube. I was like, oh, there's people online that talk about video games. Maybe I can find a home here. And I started my channel innocently enough where it's just yeah, I'll just make a video and talk about games and and see how this goes. You know, it's like a New Year's resolution. I started on January 1st, and well, I think I published the video on the 2nd, but I filmed it on the 1st. And it was kind of a twofold thing because I kind of had some public speaking, like a fear of public speaking, and I really like video games. So I'm like, well, two birds, one stone. I can like try to be better at public speaking and try to improve myself. So it was like all about being able to talk about video games and maybe work on things that I was struggling with in my life. So that was how it started, and that was 8 years ago now, I think. Like, holy crap, time goes by fast.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while, just talking about like retro gaming and meeting some really cool people, going to some conventions, and you know, growing the channel very small, ever so slowly. And then, holy crap, the past couple of years, especially, it just screaming straight up. And people are like, man, I had a comment today on one of my videos. I saw someone was like, how do you only have 100,000 subscribers? And I'm like, bro, like, you don't even know. Like, you're talking to a guy that used to have 1,000 subscribers, and you're like, how do you only have 100 though? But yeah, that's basically the long and the short of how I got started on YouTube.
That's awesome, man. It's what's it called again? Like I grew up in Cali, still live here, and like I guess I would say like I sort of went the same boat as you. I was working at a this place called Netropa, and it's like a no-name brand. What's it called again? A GPS making company owned by this Chinese guy, of course. And like I remember one day I sent he gave me an address. He's like, send this GPS unit, this one like mock-up GPS unit to this address. And there's two addresses. And my dumb ass should have asked which one, right? So I sent it to the first one, and it was the wrong address. And there was only one prototype of that. So he started yelling at me. And here's the thing, it was the office of—
Wait, why did it have two addresses on it? How's that your fault?
I don't know, but I should have asked, you know, like I would blame myself for that one. But like the thing is, bro had no chill, and he started cursing me out. Like, and there's like 5 people in the office. He's like, where the fuck is this address? Where did you send this to the other one? Huh? What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. And then I'm like, and then I said, this fucking address right here. It's like, you didn't tell me. So I thought it was the first one. He's like, you should have asked. And I was like, in hindsight, yeah, I should have asked. But ever since then, I'm like,
hey, you know what you should have done? You should have put the right one here first, and there wouldn't be a problem. But anyway.
Yeah, so then I got super pissed off, and I just went on to like monster.com, which is like Grae, if you know what that is it's a job.
I know. We have that.
Okay.
We have that.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I think it's still around, right?
Yeah. I wonder
it's still
if
around.
to use it. So I saw one that says Activision and looking for QA testers. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna apply. And then like 2 weeks later, Volt, which is the what's it called again? The contracting company, called me and it's like, hey, you want to come in for an interview? And I was like, all right, sure. And they basically do all the hiring. They do like mass hirings for like Blizzard, EA, and like Activision or any of these like AAA companies. And I started doing QA in 2009, 2010, and did it for a couple of years. And the thing is, I was contract, so being QA sucked.
Oh yeah, I was contract when I was QA too. So
I'm not sure it happened to you, but like for me, when they brought me on, they're like, all right, did anyone ever watch Grandma's Boy? And everyone's like, yeah, that movie is great. It's like, it's nothing like that.
Right. That's
Right.
what I always tell people that too. They're like, oh, so it's like Grandma's Boy. I'm like, no, not at all.
No, you don't play games, get high, and see boobs, and then you see like a guy like dressed in like a Neo outfit. Right? It's
that was like the other thing. I'm like, nobody smoked. Like nobody. The entire company. I'm like, not if they did, it was a very private, quiet, secret thing. Like it wasn't out in the open. Like, oh, let's go get high. I'm like, no one does that. What are we talking?
Yeah, and back in the day, like you can't do that here in California. So. But yeah. So SmashJT, like if you don't know, like Grae's located in the Philippines. That's the reason why I'm asking him. They do like no. Okay. Yeah, so that's why it's like all bright over there.
Super bright.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, makes sense.
Okay.
So how did you get in touch with like Hypnotic, and like now you're sort of like you're part of this panel on Saturdays now?
Damn, that's funny. I think as far as Hypnotic situation, like I don't even remember. I think it was Ryan Roger Athe. Are you familiar with him? Ryan Roger Athe? He's one of the panel members. He was the spirit guy.
Yeah, he made a video about us, but like he's the guy with the beard, sort of like
yeah. He looks like he's like 55 and homeless, but he's actually 25 and has a house.
No way.
Yeah.
Man.
That Ryan. No, so it's funny. Ryan had me on for just like one of these, like a year, at least a year before I even met Hypnotic, and I didn't know anything about anything, but just like you guys, he's like, "Hey, I do this podcast. I'd love to have you on, talk about your channel, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, like whatever." And it was before my channel like really blew up. Like my channel was doing fine. Like it was like I think at like 25,000 subscribers when I talked to him, which is a great amount of subscribers. And he did like the whole interview and we chatted about it. And he was like, "Oh, you're a rising star. You're doing great." And I was like, "Thanks, man." Like I always loved how he talked. Like he was like an old Englishman, super professional old man. And at the time I thought he was like 45, 50 years old. He's like, "Oh, he's actually 24 at the time." But he's so well adjusted with how he speaks to people that I just assume he's older. So anyways, that was how I met him. And I don't even know what happened between then and like fast forward like a year later when I was on Twitter, I think, and maybe Ryan would be a better person to ask this to because he'd probably remember better. But I saw Hypnotic, or maybe Ryan was talking to him or retweeted him. And then I wrote a response to one of Hypnotic's tweets that was like a very edgy response, but it was talking to the point of who he was tweeting about.
Mm-hmm.
And he took it like I was talking about him. And he's he's like, "Are you talking about me?" And I was like, no, I meant who you're retweeting. My bad. And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I was like, "Oh man, that could have gone really wrong." Where I was just like, my first interaction with this guy was just shit talk.
Man.
But no, it was fine from that point on. I was like, "Oh, this guy's actually pretty cool. Very into gaming. He knows his shit. He's very, very based, and he is very hardworking. I don't think I've met anyone, and I've been, like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I I retweeted Project Eggroll. I said we were live, and Grums responded, "I'm offended." Grums didn't get an invite.
Look, he doesn't. Okay, the only way that people know who I am is because of one video. You might have seen this, and I'll bring it up. The thing is that like Rev knows, like Rev says Desu knows who I am because of this video. And the thing is that like it's this video right over here. So this is me.
Yeah, everyone knows you from this video. I've seen this video.
So it's like it's this video, and then everyone is like, "What? Like, well, this guy's a gooner." Like for me, like I think I messaged Grums before, but like he doesn't know who I am. Like,
yeah, I recall you said you did. But
yeah, I messaged him a long time ago, but like, and we were also on. I think we might have been on Film Threat together too. You didn't. Say, I think it was like he came, like we were on Film Threat, and I think we talked about something, and then he left, right? But like, if like I don't know Mark Kern, but like I would love to have him on. But it's just I just thought that was funny. He said that it's like I'm offended. Maybe does he? Maybe he has his own podcast or a talk show or something like that. But play the video. All right. This video is.
There's a video that toppled this though.
Late last night that got more.
Yeah, insane. It's like,
is this on what? Where'd you post this first? Was this to Instagram or?
So so the first time I posted was me climbing up and down on a ladder with Eve. Right. I posted on This face is extremely unfortunate right now, but it's I posted it on Instagram, and I posted it on what's it called again? Just on Instagram and on X on Twitter, and it popped off here, right? So this is so it's just like this was just me.
It popped off here as in YouTube.
Yeah. No, on Twitter.
On Twitter, okay.
Yeah, I had like 5.2 million views.
Yeah.
It's
the crazy part is it made it all the way to 4chan, and one of my followers told me about it.
Oh man. Yeah, so this one got pretty insane. And
I fell off.
yeah. And I think Vera Dark knows who I am. I don't know who she I've never had her on, and she was like, people just know me because of this clip.
Yep.
But then I posted another video recently. So let me bring it up. And this one's 100% Gooner material. I saw this on Instagram. I'm like, I'm just gonna post it. And yeah, so it's basically this one got even more. This one has like 5.6 million views right now, and it's from last night. I posted it last night. I saw this on Instagram. I'm like, I'm just gonna share this. This is hilarious, and
It just blew up.
A lot of people started talking about it.
Yeah, this one's messed up. This part.
This part's the messed up part. That's his mom, so it's just. So that's the video I posted. It has 5.6 million views.
Damn.
The crazy thing, no, I posted it. Yeah, I posted it yesterday. The crazy part is the amount of bookmarks it has.
Yeah, that's a lot of bookmarks. That's a lot of bookmarks, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
so
dude, that's almost was it 60,000? Is that 50 or 60,000 hearts?
60,000.
So almost 1 out of every 2 hearts bookmarked it. Think
Yeah.
about that. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I
So,
bet
like,
that has a lot to do with the algorithm too. I bet if it gets a shit ton of bookmarks, that it automatically pumps it.
yeah, it's the funny thing is like I didn't make it. I just saw someone posted it, and the person who posted didn't make it either. I'm pretty sure there's some kind of like Rule 34 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if Rule 34 is still banned on Reddit. So, but it's crazy, man. But
Thanks for checking out this segment of the Project Eggroll podcast. If you like what we do here, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will know next time when we go live. We do go live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Once again, we are just getting started. Tons of more video to come. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.